Picture a sprawling Kansas prairie, where golden wheat fields stretch for miles under a sky bruised with storm clouds. It's July 2025, and 25 miles outside Salina. A weathered farmhouse stands alone, its paint peeling like old skin. Amos Keller, a 62-year-old farmer with a stooped back and calloused hands, has worked this land for decades. His life is predictable as the seasons. His 200-acre property, 10 miles from the nearest neighbor, is a patchwork of fields and barns, with a 12-foot well hidden 50 feet behind the farmhouse, its stone rim choked with weeds. Everyone in Salina knows Amos, quiet, church-going, always at the feed store 5 miles away with a nod and a grunt. But when a brutal drought cracks the earth, exposing the well's rusted cover, Sheriff's Deputy Laura Bennett, a 15-year veteran stationed 15 miles away, gets a tip from a farmhand who spotted something odd glinting in the well's depths. Under a stormy sky, sheriffs descend, their trucks parked 20 feet from the well, and lower a camera 12 feet down. What they find chills the prairie air. A locked metal box, 3 feet wide, caked in mud, containing bones, a locket, and a bloodied knife. Amos, standing 100 feet away by his porch, claims it's just old junk, but his trembling hands tell another story. The well held water, and a secret so dark it could destroy a town. What's the creepiest thing you've found in an old house? Share below, and let's dive into this Kansas nightmare. Amos was a fixture in Salina, his weathered face as familiar as the grain elevators 8 miles from town. At 5 feet 9 inches, with gray hair and a limp from a tractor accident, he seemed like just another farmer, tending his fields 25 miles from the county seat. His wife, Martha, died 20 years ago, and he lived alone, or so folks thought, in the farmhouse 50 feet from the well. Neighbors, like Clara, a 70-year-old widow living 10 miles away, saw Amos at church 5 miles from his land, always in the same pew, but he never stayed for coffee. Another neighbor, Tom, a 45-year-old mechanic 12 miles away, noticed Amos hauling heavy bags to the well late at night, 50 feet from the house, years back. The drought, worst in a century, dried up creeks 5 miles away and exposed the well, which Amos claimed was sealed for safety. The farmhand, Luis, 30, hired 3 miles from Salina, tipped off deputies after seeing a glint 12 feet down while checking irrigation lines. Deputy Bennett, sharp-eyed and relentless, led the investigation, her team roping off the well 20 feet from their trucks. The box's contents, human bones, a woman's locket engraved with EK, and a knife with dried blood, pointed to murder. Forensic tests, run 15 miles away in Salina, dated the bones to the 1990s. Was Amos hiding a crime from decades past? Suspicion also fell on Luis, whose criminal record for theft, 10 miles away, raised eyebrows. Had he planted the box? As Bennett's team dug into Amos's history, a lead 100 miles away in Wichita would turn the case upside down. Curious? Keep watching, because this well hides more than bones. What's the creepiest thing you've uncovered? Drop it in the comments, and let's keep going. The well, 12 feet deep and 50 feet behind Amos's farmhouse, was a stone-lined abyss, its walls slick with moss and secrets. Under a sky heavy with thunder, Pima County sheriffs, their boots sinking into mud 20 feet from the well, hauled up the metal box, its 3-foot frame dented but sealed tight. Inside, the bones, a partial skeleton, likely female, lay beside a locket engraved, EK, its clasp broken, and a 6-inch knife, its blade crusted with blood. Forensic techs, 15 miles away in Salina, confirmed the bones were 30 years old, the blood human but too degraded to DNA test. Deputy Bennett, stationed 15 miles from the farm, pressed Amos in an interrogation room, his weathered hands fidgeting. He claimed the well was a junk pit from his father's time, the box just trash. But his eyes darted when shown the locket, and he muttered about Martha, his late wife, who died in a car crash 20 years ago, 10 miles from Salina. Was the locket hers, or someone else's? Bennett's team searched the farmhouse, 50 feet from the well, finding a hidden compartment under the kitchen floor, 10 feet from the sink, with old photos of Amos with a woman, not Martha, smiling by a barn 30 feet away. The woman matched a missing persons report from 1995, Ellen Klein, a 28-year-old teacher who vanished 25 miles from Salina. Suspicion swirled around Luis, the farmhand, his theft record from a store 10 miles away, and his late-night prowling near the well, 50 feet from the house, made him a suspect. Had he found the box and tipped off deputies to frame Amos? Clara, the neighbor 10 miles away, recalled Ellen visiting Amos's farm in the 90s, her car parked 100 feet from the house. Amos's bank records, pulled from a branch 5 miles away, showed odd cash withdrawals in 1995, $2,000, labeled equipment, but no receipts. The knife's handle had a partial fingerprint, too smudged to match, but it matched a brand sold at a hardware store 8 miles away in 1994. Bennett's team interviewed Tom, who'd seen Amos at the well years ago, his truck parked 20 feet away. A second search of the farm, 25 miles from Salina, uncovered a diary in the attic, 15 feet from the chimney, with cryptic entries. Ellen asked too many questions. Had to end it. Was this a confession? As sheriffs dug deeper, a lead 100 miles away in Wichita, a pond ring tied to Ellen, would shift everything. Who's hiding the truth? Amos, Luis, or someone else? Drop your guess in the comments, because this mystery is about to deepen. The Wichita lead, 100 miles from Salina, was a pawn shop 5 miles from downtown, where a ring engraved, EK, was sold in 1996. Sheriffs, 15 miles from their Salina base, traced it to Ellen Klein, the missing teacher, whose photo matched the woman in Amos's hidden stash, found 10 feet under the farmhouse kitchen floor. Deputy Bennett, relentless, pieced together Ellen's story. A 28-year-old who taught at a school 20 miles from Amos's farm, last seen in 1995 after visiting a friend 10 miles away. Amos, then 32, was a widower. Martha died a year earlier, 10 miles from Salina, in a crash ruled accidental. Ellen, friends said 25 miles away, had been tutoring Amos's nephew, a teen living 50 feet from the farmhouse, and grew close to Amos. The diary, recovered 15 feet from the attic chimney, was damning. Ellen saw the ledger. She knows too much. What ledger? Bennett's team found it in the barn, 30 feet from the well. A tattered book listing cash deals, $50,000 in 1995, tied to illegal land sales. Had Ellen stumbled onto Amos's scheme? The locket, engraved, EK, was hers. A gift from her mother, confirmed by a relative 100 miles away in Wichita. The knife, bought 8 miles away, bore no clear prints but matched a set Amos owned. Luis, the farmhand, was a red herring. His thefts, 10 miles away, were petty, and his tip came from fear, not guilt. He'd seen Amos at the well, 50 feet from the house, acting cagey. Clara's memory of Ellen's car, parked 100 feet from the farmhouse, placed her there the night she vanished. Amos's withdrawals, $2,000 in cash, suggested a cover-up, not equipment. A third search, 25 miles from Salina, found a bloodied rag in the barn, 30 feet from the well, with traces of Ellen's DNA, confirmed 15 miles away. But a new lead, 150 miles away in Topeka. A witness who saw Amos with a woman in 1995, would unravel more. What did Amos bury besides bones? Share your creepiest find in the comments, because this case is about to crack wide open. The Topeka witness, 150 miles from Salina, was a retired bartender, 70, who saw Amos with Ellen at a diner 5 miles from downtown in 1995, arguing heatedly. Deputy Bennett, back at the Salina station 15 miles away, laid out the case. The bones, locket, knife, diary, ledger, rag. Amos broke, his voice cracking. I didn't mean to hurt her. Ellen had discovered his land fraud, selling parcels 25 miles from Salina to fake buyers, pocketing $50,000. Threatening to report him, she met Amos at the farmhouse, 50 feet from the well. A fight turned deadly. He struck her with the knife, panicked, and dumped her in the 12-foot well, sealing it with the box. The locket, torn off in the struggle, and the knife went with her. Amos's life as a quiet farmer, 10 miles from neighbors, was a facade to bury his guilt. Luis was cleared, his tip genuine. Clara's testimony and the ledger tied Amos to Ellen's death. The ring, pawned 100 miles away, was Amos's attempt to erase evidence. His arrest for murder and fraud shook Salina, 25 miles away, tabloids screaming, "Well of death," and "Farmers buried lies." Ellen's family, 100 miles away, started a memorial fund for missing persons. This fictional tale, inspired by rural crime cover-ups, warns that truth persists, even 12 feet down. What's the creepiest thing you've found in an old house? Share below, and if this chilled you, hit that like, subscribe, and share. More confessions await to haunt you.